The Ponzi scheme is one of the most famous financial frauds out there. It was named after Charles Ponzi, an Italian con artist who operated in the US and Canada in the early 1920s. He promised clients 50% profit within 45 days or 100% profit within 90 days. All they had to do was buy discounted postal reply coupons. Sounds great, right? Let us show you an example. We're going to need a name for our con artist. Let's call him Matt. We're also going to need some investors. Let's call the first one Gary. So in the early afternoon, Gary hears a knock on his door. He comes to open it, and it's Matt. Matt, using his people skills, very convincingly explains that if Gary gives him $10, Matt will give him back $15 next week. Gary thinks for a bit and decides to give him $10. As promised, Matt arrives with $15 next week and gives him a bit extra as well. Gary is excited now. He tells his friends Dave, Pete, Doug, and John. They've known Gary for a long time and trust him, so they decide to invest as well. Once again, a week later, Matt comes back with their money. Even though this is a bit obvious, let us remind you that in reality, nobody invests $10. The investments are usually tens of thousands, even millions of dollars. So, how was Matt able to pull this off? Worry not, we'll tell you. First of all, Matt didn't only convince Gary to invest. He has convinced many other people, as this is usually a large-scale operation. But Matt didn't really make them any money. All he did was an illusion of making them money. Let's go back when Dave, Pete, Doug, and John invested money. Matt took their money and after that went to Jane, Mary, Alan, and Adam. He convinced them as well to invest. He then took a part of their money and gave it to Dave, Pete, Doug, and John. He then got some new investors and gave their money to Jane, Mary, Alan, and Adam. Every time he made a transaction, he kept a cut of their money as a payment for his hard work. An important note about the Ponzi scheme is that it can last only as long as there are investors. So, how can you prevent being a part of this? First of all, if you are promised a high investment return with little or no risk, beware. All investments have some degree of risk. The next thing that should be suspicious for you are overly consistent returns. Investment values go up and down, and you can't always get good returns. Ponzi schemes often involve unregistered investments, so always make sure that your investments are registered. Most Ponzi schemes involve unlicensed sellers. When someone offers to invest your money, always ask for their license. Ponzi schemes involve secretive or complex strategies. Always ask your investor about his strategies and never be a part of investments that you don't understand or you can't get their complete information. More often than not, you'll have issues with your paperwork if you're a part of the Ponzi scheme. Don't accept excuses regarding why you can't review information in writing about an investment. One last piece of advice is to be suspicious if you have difficulty receiving payments or if you have a hard time cashing out your investment. Ponzi scheme promoters usually want you to roll over your investments with promises of even higher returns. We hope that you found this helpful. Always be careful when you let somebody else handle your money. Thanks for watching. As the urban youth would say, hit that like and share button. Consider subscribing for more of this stuff.